How you doing, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So I'm going to also offer up 3 other things that you could do to protect yourself while you're traveling abroad. One is going to be administrative, and the other 2 are going to kind of fall into the world of being a little exotic and more of a little bit of a trade craft when it comes to physical security and protective services. So now, the first one's going to be, here's a question for you. When you leave your room every day, do you keep your physical passport on you? Now, some of you are like, yes, of course. You know, I might need it, etc. Now, if you ever lost a passport in your country or another country, it is going to be extremely difficult to replace that document, and it's going to take quite a bit of time. So now, what's the answer to that? Well, the answer should be that you should make a color photocopy of your passport. Now, some of you are like, okay, that sounds great. But if it's just going to be a paper copy that you're going to put in your pocket eventually, especially in this region, and if depending on how long you're out here and what your activities are, this paper is going to disintegrate, and then it will be illegible. God forbid somebody has to access that information. So what you're going to do is you're going to make a color copy. On the back, you're going to put 4 contact numbers of people that know that you are away. And then what you're going to do is you're going to laminate it. Now, with you laminating it, what that's going to help, it's going to help its durability. And once again, you can kind of, you know, it could take a little bit of a beating when you're out here. So administratively, you're protecting yourself because a hypothetical, it's not really a hypothetical, it happens all the time, is that if you get hurt to the point where you become unconscious, car accident, motorbike event, and you're in another country where people can't read your language, they can't understand who you're with, is that no one may know exactly who you are. So once again, how you mitigate that is that you're going to have this information on you at all times. And once again, that alleviates the fact of you losing your passport. So it's kind of a 2-for-1. I do it personally with my passport, and I also do it with my global entry card. I laminate a copy of that, and that's what I carry on me at all times. So as we move forward towards the more exotic, listen to this. All right, so now that we handled the administrative portion, which in my opinion, out of all the things that I can tell you to keep yourself safe overseas, the passport and the identification of who you are is definitely the top of the hierarchy, in my opinion, because these things are more likely to happen than, you know, all the other, you know, maybe exotic things that I bring up. So now a segue into the exotic is that now one of the things you got to consider is that when you have an Airbnb, obviously you have a conventional lock that could be picked, or people have access to a set of keys. That's going to be number one. And now in these days, there's going to be an electronic keypad that gets utilized. So either way, depending on what type of locking system is in your Airbnb or hotel lodging, you have to realize is that regarding access control and people getting into your place, once again, this isn't the Pentagon. This isn't, you know, a high value target facility where, you know, it's probably easy to get in. So what you have to consider is that, how would you know if someone's about to get into your place? So the first one's going to sound a little weird, but just stay with me for a second. There's something called bubble wrap. Okay, that's where you, on Christmas, you wrap packages that are fragile. So, okay, so then what you're going to do is you're going to purchase some bubble wrap. And the secondary thing you're going to purchase is a very thin welcome mat. Now with this welcome mat, what you're going to do is that you're going to affix the bubble wrap to the bottom of your little welcome mat that either sits in front of your door or it can sit to the interior of your walkway as someone potentially could walk into your place. So some of you are like, why would you do that? Well, if you're sleeping in the dead of night, depending on where your condominium is, people will try to walk in potentially to surprise you. So then obviously if you understand what bubble wrap is, how it works, It's a way to alarm you when you're sleeping, because it's going to make noise if someone steps on it. So that's going to help you and buy you time if you need to move to another location, another door, another room, maybe lock yourself in, jump out the window. You know, I don't really know. So then the secondary thing you might want to pick up, it's pretty simple actually. They use it in high threat security a lot. Guys carry door wedges on them. If you don't know what a door wedge is, I'll put that up on the screen. So now when you go to bed at night, you put your double locks on, you put a little bolt, but then also what you could do is you could put a wedge in the door. So if someone has the combination and they try to push the door forward, it'll be automatically stopped by a door stopper. So now if you look at the bubble wrap, which sounds crazy to most of you, but it's not, because once again, you got to bring the material with you. But the door wedge is pretty good because someone, as it catches friction as the door opens, it's going to basically stop the door in place, and then you're going to realize, wait a second, some of you might sleep heavy, someone's trying to get in, and then you could take whatever countermeasures you feel are appropriate for this particular event. So now as we recap, you have it administratively, you're securing your stay. God forbid something happens, they need to identify you and contact people that are on that list. And then once again, we talk about physical security. Now somebody already breached or trying to breach your condo. What do you have in place to mitigate that? All right, so coffee and juice. Hopefully you got something out of the information. I'm always trying to keep yourself safe. Once again, comment if you have any additions to what I'm saying. Obviously, it's a very, very, vast conversation. I'm trying to do a little bit at a time so you can kind of soak it all in and then utilize whatever you feel is appropriate for you. Okay, so coffee and juice. Have a great day.